Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for Monday. We have 10 games tonight starting at 7 o'clock, so let's get into it. As always, if you enjoy the videos, I appreciate if you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. The second time making this video, the first video, somehow didn't have any audio, so I don't know how that happened. Hopefully this one does, or else it'll be the third time making it. But let's get started with the point guard plays today. First off, there's just a couple of teams that look at that like super appealing to target. The Pacers, look at their price tags, they're just way cheaper than they have been for most of the season. Brogdon is only $7,300 after he was north of 85, close to 9K for much of the season. His price tag is down by about 1,000. The last couple of games are a little scary. They got blown out by Charlotte for most of the game, and then the bench came in the third quarter, and they brought them back. So the starters got benched in that game, and then last game, it was a blowout. They won by 17. It wasn't even that much. It wasn't even as close as that makes it seem. The Pelicans went on a 30-15 run in the fourth. Otherwise, they won by they were up by over 30. But assuming that they're back to playing their normal minutes, if Rick Carlisle doesn't do anything crazy or just not happy with them, so there is some inherent risk. But 6K Karis LeVert, 73 Malcolm Brogdon, 87 Sabonis. Those three would be the pieces to start with if you're looking to target the Pacers. And then you have some good plays on the Minnesota side. This game just kind of looks appealing in general. You have $7,400 Anthony Edwards for some reason. You have Cat at 95. So Edwards, in close games, we've seen him get close to 40, if not more than 40. Karl Anthony Towns, on the other hand, he's playing big minutes as well. Naz Reid is questionable if he misses, just maybe some extra center minutes once again for Cat. But 95 is about $500 to $1,000 cheaper than what it normally is. So that price tag on Karl Anthony Towns. And then on the Pelican side, if you wanted to bring it back, you can bring it back with probably Josh Hart maybe, or Brandon Ingram for sure at only 79. You could look to Valanciunas, but with that $600, I might just be able to get up to Cat instead. Especially if there's no Devontae Graham, then those other guys just look a little bit better. Looking at the point guard plays today, not looking too much at James Harden. He's 11-6. No surprise that he dropped 71 without Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant is back in this one, so his usage rate, everything will dip once again. LaMelo's paid off that price tag a couple times this year. Last game he did, even though he shot 5 of 18. Triple-double against the Hawks. It's just tough for me to do it when the Wizards haven't been playing very fast this season. They've been pretty decent defensively, and there's just some better price tags that I want to get to. DeJounte looks appealing at $9,200. I typically don't get to Devin Booker or Chris Paul much. I might look to Donovan Mitchell, somebody that I don't normally play, but his price tag has come down from 91 to 93 down to 85. The matchup is solid at home against the Grizz. You have Brogdon at only 73. I like him for right now. I'm just going to plug him in because normally you don't get that price tag on Brogdon. Probably won't get it again if he plays well today. Maxey makes sense as a pivot. Fox makes sense as well. The Kings fired their coach, so Fox and the crew have interim coach there. Maybe that inspires some more confidence in them to play a little bit better. Other plays at point guard, 6K range. You have Rubio, makes some sense at 68. 6K isn't super strong besides Josh Giddey if there is no SGA. SGA is questionable as well as Cole Anthony, so if those guys are out, that'll change up the slate a little bit. 5K range, you have Jalen Suggs, but you're going to have to hope that Cole Anthony doesn't play for you to consider that price tag. I normally don't get to Mike Conley just because he doesn't play very many minutes. His ceiling is capped. And in the 4K range, I like Patty Mills just because not only is Bruce Brown out, but Joe Harris is out once again. So he's the third option to score the basketball behind the other two. And that's basically it for now at point guard. At shooting guard, top end plays, you have LaMelo at 12 or 10-2. He's expensive. I like going down a little bit to Brandon Ingram. D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, the 7K range is pretty strong here. You're not breaking the bank. Most of these guys in this range give you 40, 50 point upside. So I'm plugging in Anthony Edwards for right now at his price tag. He's just too cheap at 74. 5K range, nothing that I'm looking at too much unless Graham is out once again. Then he could look to Nickeil Alexander-Walker. The 4K range, Desmond Bane makes some sense because Dylan Brooks is doubtful and DeAnthony Melton is out. But it's a tough spot in Utah for a team that just got blown out by the Timberwolves. Not that that makes any sort of difference. Patty Mills, I like him 45 more than the other guys that I mentioned there. And then the Atlanta Hawks, they have a questionable tag on Bogdanovich. DeAndre Hunter is out for the whole season, I believe, or at least 6 months. Kevin Huerter is $4,200. So Kevin Huerter and Cam Reddish look appealing anyways, just with the fact that there is no DeAndre Hunter. But if Bogdanovich joins him being out today, then they look even better, and you can plug both in. Small forward, the top end, Durant is 11K, Tatum, Brown. If Brown plays, I don't have much interest in the Celtics just because they're priced up. I'm looking at Brandon Ingram today, 79. This is already the third meeting between these teams. Ingram dropped 42, so it gives you upside as well. He's been kind of slow so far in terms of fantasy, but 37, 39 minutes give you upside that, if the game is close, which it probably will be. Gets you rebounding upside as well. Has a ball in his hands, just super high usage rate. Should be, even though the Timberwolves haven't been allowing teams to score that much, but still don't really buy into that. I think they're going to end up being much worse than that by the time the season is over. And the Pelicans play at an up-tempo pace or at home, so I think that it's just going to be a good game for fantasy. So going with Ingram right now at small forward. Other plays at the position would be Harrison Barnes is nicely priced at 63. Hayward gives you 45 point upside at 68. Josh Hart to bounce back after he was super popular last game against Minnesota. Then you have Buddy Hield at only 53. He's the type of guy that makes sense for tournaments just because he can get red hot and put up 30, 35, 40 fantasy points. Price tag has come down on Buddy Hield. I like him as a tournament option. And then for value, it's Kyle Anderson, it's Kevin Huerter, it's going to be Cam Reddish. Those are the main pieces right now. If Cole Anthony is out, then you can look to Terrence Ross at 37. And you do have power forward, you have $4,100 Franz Wagner, who's very cheap. Terrible game last time out, but good spot to potentially bounce back here. He's averaging 6x on this price tag, and the minutes are there in close games. Gallo makes sense as well, especially if Bogdanovich is out once again. And you could maybe look to Blake Griffin, but Kyle Anderson gives you more upside in terms of minutes. Top end plays at the position would be Giannis if we get some more value, but right now we don't have value, so tough for me to really recommend Giannis unless we get Cole Anthony out or unless we get SGA out. I'll probably maybe look to like the 6K range, or in the 7K range you have Bobby Portis. Price tag isn't the best at 7-2, but he does give you a big upside for tournaments. It's a bonus if you wanted to pay up at 87. And then I don't mind going down here to like that 4K range where you do have Franz Wagner, Gallinari. They give you upside at their price tags. At center, give me Cat for now. It's 95. Very cheap. Good spot against the Pelicans. You can play, I like going Cat and Edwards, bringing it back with Brandon Ingram. Potentially could bring it back with like Josh Hart if we get Devontae Graham out. Other plays at center would be like Gobert at 83, Sabonis. You can spend down a little bit and go down to like Wendell Carter at 57. He's cheap. You have Rashawn Holmes, also cheap, going up against his former team, the Sixers. Wouldn't be surprised if Holmes ends up playing more minutes than usual now that Luke Walton is gone. Going over to the guard position, plugging in Cam Reddish for now. He's just really affordable at 36. Don't have anything against Kevin Huerter or Gallo, but 36 for Cam Reddish, playing 25 to 27 minutes in close games. Looks appealing, pretty easy to hit value for a guy that, he still gives you a low floor, but without Hunter, the minutes are secure, the matchup is solid for a guy like Cam Reddish that can get to the paint. He likes to get to the rim, get some free throws, get you rebounds, and might be able to get some deflection steals as the Thunder turn the ball over a lot. And the last piece is going to be Karis LeVert. For right now, he's only 6K. Not going to get that price tag very often for LeVert. The minutes are a question mark at times, but if they're playing well, the Stars are playing well, and it's a close game, you would expect north of 30 minutes for a guy like Karis LeVert. Still has a high usage rate, still handles the ball a lot at times, still shoots the ball a lot. Just a matter of time before LeVert kind of gets back to normal. And they did give up a lot for LeVert, so they want him to be part of their future. They want Brogdon to be part of their future. I don't think that they're going to bench them every single time. It's just once in a while, if they're playing bad, they will. But I feel pretty good about these 6 to kind of start you off on DraftKings. Let's go over to FanDuel. So FanDuel point guard plays today. Harden looks better at 10-1. You have Trae Young looks okay at 93. Probably like LaMelo the most in the 9K range just because he gives you the most upside at 9,000. 8K range, Brogdon is okay, but he's priced up. Then he is on DraftKings Max. He's also priced up. Probably like Zach LaVine the most at 8,000. Cole Anthony, if he plays, you could definitely play him. He gives you 50, 55, 60 point upside. The player that we're getting the most discount on FanDuel is De'Aaron Fox at only 73. A new coach going up against Philly. We saw Damian Lillard have his best game of the season against the Sixers. Some other guards have. Maxey, for as good as he is offensively, is no Ben Simmons on the defensive end. So there is room to kind of take advantage of the Sixers defense right now until Embiid is back and unless Simmons somehow happens to come back, which I doubt he will. And then Hampton, Jalen Green, they're all kind of priced up on FanDuel, so I don't have much interest there. Looking for a value play, it would be Patty Mills at 45. At shooting guard, Bradley Beal, DeMar DeRozan, Mitchell, they all are nicely priced. Looking for the cheaper 8K range, you have Zach LaVine, Brogdon, or even Devin Booker is nicely priced. But I'm going Anthony Edwards on both sites. There's not very many guys you can say that they have 40, 42-minute upside in regulation. Edwards is one of those. Gets a good matchup against the Pelicans. I'm expecting this game to be one of the better ones for fantasy on this slate. And the price tags on these guys are just pretty affordable. You have Gordon Hayward, Karis LeVert as good options in the 6K range. Garland, Rozier also in the mix. Schroeder if there is no Jaylen Brown. And in the 5K range, Buddy Hield would kind of be like the only guy I'm looking at too much besides Josh Hart if there is no Devontae Graham. And then you're basically looking at the value plays, same kind of deal. The Hawks, like Cam Reddish. I like Kevin Huerter more than Reddish on FanDuel now that he's $300 cheaper. Hunter plays more. Huerter plays more with Hunter out. And then Ross, 42, if there is no Cole Anthony, makes some sense. Small forward, I like DeRozan, 86. But I'm going with Brandon Ingram. He's only 77. Great price tag. Solid matchup. And he's at home, so he plays big minutes as well. Expect Edwards and Ingram to go back and forth at times. I think they make for a nice little 2-man game stack. You can throw in Cat for make it a 3-man stack. 6K range, it's definitely Gordon Hayward, Karis LeVert. My 2 favorite options, 5K range, it's Josh Hart, Buddy Hield. 4K range, it's going to be Kevin Huerter. It's going to be Cam Reddish, but Kevin Huerter is above Cam Reddish on FanDuel. At power forward, I'm going to go with, you could go with Sabonis at 84, but I like Tobias 75, good spot against the Kings. You also have Bobby Portis at only 63, so he gives you a ton of upside at that sort of price tag. 5K range, nothing looks that appealing. The 4K range, you have Clark got in the rotation, but he doesn't give you that much upside. Basically, we're hoping that Blake Griffin plays some minutes. He's only $4,000, and you also have Gallinari at 41 if they don't have Bogdanovic today. And then at center, you can go up to Cat at 99. There's DraftKings, it's a $600 difference between J-Val and Cat. On FanDuel, it's a $1,900 difference, so I don't mind playing Valanciunas, saving that $1,900 and being able to upgrade for another superstar on FanDuel. So that's probably the play that I'm going with. And that's about it. I don't see anybody very cheap that looks appealing at center. The 8K range is pretty strong between Sabonis, between Valanciunas, Gobert. If you wanted to pay up, it would be for Cat. And that's about it for the video. Thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight. If we get some news this afternoon, I'll probably be able to make an update video. If you want to check out Prize Picks, use my code process for deposit match up to $100. I post my picks on Twitter later in the afternoon for Prize Picks. So that's all for the video. I'll see you all next time.